To everyone. Good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. So last class we have been doing on the root locus techniques, and we have seen this problem k divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2, and we started completing this problem. We have done all these steps. Step 1 where we have found the poles and that we have plotted, and then we have told that the branches of the root locus starts from the poles and ends to the zero. Then number of branches of the root locus can be determined by which how many branches are there, that you can see which one is greater. So those things we have already completed, and then we have also done with the real axis. So in the step 5, we have seen the real axis lies on the root locus, and all the steps we have done. Also the asymptotes. We found that asymptotes can number of asymptotes is 3 here, and then also we continued to find out the centroid, that is -1. We also found the angle subtended by the asymptotes is 60, 180, and 300. We have plotted this asymptote. So all these things we done in the previous class, and then we also had the root locus is always symmetrical to the real axis, and we have also seen the breakaway point dk by ds is equal to 0. We have found the breakaway point, and we have taken k equation as 3s cube minus 3s square minus 2s, and taken the differentiation with respect to k, dk by ds is equal to 0. When we do that, we get s is equal to minus 0.42 and minus 1.56. Then we have also found the value. So we found that 0.42 minus 0.42 is called as the breakaway point, and we found the value of k at s is equal to minus 0.42. These all things we completed in the previous class, and then we also found that the k at the breakaway point must be positive, and the maximum value was between minus 0 and minus 1. After that, we have to, there is no need to find the phi arrival and phi departure, because does not g of s, h of s does not have complex poles or zeros. So if you have complex poles or zeros, then you have to find out the departure and phi arrival. So that's what we did. We were in the 10th step. So at that point, so where to find the insertion of the point j omega and k for the closed loop stability, where we were supposed to substitute s is equal to j omega in the characteristic equation. So in the previous problem till here we had done. Okay, so you can just continue substituting s is equal to j omega and simplify that further. So when you substitute s is equal to j omega, the equation s cube plus 3s square plus 2s plus k is equal to 0. When you substitute s is equal to j omega, you get it as j cube omega cube plus 3j square omega square plus 2j omega plus k is equal to 0. You can take the terms together, real and imaginary. So k minus 3 omega square. So you're going to get k minus 3 omega square plus j j into 2 omega minus omega cube is equal to 0. So this is what you get it. From the above equation, it's satisfied if the real and imaginary parts are 0. So we can just equate and find out the values of omega and k. So let us try to find out the value of k and omega. So for that, k minus 3 omega square can be written as 0 equal to 0, or j into 2 omega minus omega cube is there. So 2 omega minus omega cube is equal to 0. So from these two equations you can find out k and omega. So you can do that. So that is what, when you do it, you will get omega is equal to plus or minus root 2 and k is equal to 6. So let me just you can you have all completed till step 9 in the previous class. Step 10, you can just substitute s is equal to j omega and start finding the value of k and omega. So do that. All of you can do that. So once you complete it, you find the values of k and omega, then further you can move ahead. So when you substitute that, when you simplify that, you will get k minus 3 omega square is equal to 0 and 2 omega minus omega cube is equal to 0. So you can further simplify that and find the values of omega. So since omega is not equal to 0, so we can calculate that omega will be plus or minus root 2. You'll get it as omega is plus or minus root 2, and once you find omega is plus or minus root 2, you can find the value of k as well. So you can do the substitution and find it. So you can see that when omega is plus or minus root 2, so you substitute here. So when you substitute here, you get k is equal to 3 omega square divided by, so 3 omega square, you can substitute omega is equal to plus or minus root 2. So you can just take root 2 square. So when you take it, you will get it as 6. So the value of omega is plus or minus root 2. So k is 3 omega square, you will get k is equal to 3 omega square. So these are all very simple substitutions to find. So we got the value of k. So what you find here is for k greater than 6. So we got k is equal to 6. So what you can say is for k greater than 6, the root locus crosses into the right side of the S-plane. This you have to understand. When k is greater than 6, the root locus crosses into the right side of the S-plane and the region is instability. For the closed loop control system to be stable, it should be between k value should be between 0 and 0 less than k less than 6. Okay. So once you complete all these things, we can now start plotting whatever we have done. So just plot two axes, that is sigma and j omega axis. So all of you can plot that sigma and j omega axis, and let us see that how this plot has to be carried out. So when you find out k, you can say that for the closed loop control system to be stable, to maintain the systems to be stable, you have to maintain the value of k between 0 and 6. So let us try plotting this. All of you do it, you complete these steps and then plot sigma and j omega axis. And you have already found the asymptotes, the point where the asymptote starts, which angle the asymptotes are placed, which are the poles and zeros, all those things you plotted. So I can just show you. You plot the poles, you plot the point at which the asymptotes has to be located, asymptote 1, 2 and 3, all these things you plot it, then we will see that. So let me just take you through the plot. All of you have completed till here. Shall we discuss on the plot?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we will see that those who have completed, you can just plot the asymptotes and all, and we will see how these things have to be done. Okay. So we have got the poles here, and we have drawn that. We know that the branches will start from the poles and tend towards the zero. So we have put the branches also, arrow mark we have to give, and then you need to see that asymptote. So you have to plot at 60°. This is one asymptote. You draw a straight line taking 60°. Then second asymptote is 180°. So here you can see one asymptote here. I have put an arrow mark here. Then the third one is again at this angle. So what is that you got is 300.
300, sir.
300. So take 300 and draw that asymptote there. So all these three asymptotes you can draw. First step. So this first step is to plot the poles. You have to find the centroid, find the angles, plot the asymptotes. All the three asymptotes you can plot it out. Now, what all things you have found then? You have found that you have found this breakaway point. So let me just plot this breakaway point at minus 0.42. So it comes somewhere here, this point. So this is my breakaway point. So you can put that breakaway point there. So when you are plotting it in a normal sheet, you maintain some like you between, see, you mark the point 0, -1, -2 and all properly. Okay, you scale for plotting those things, and when you plot 0, -1 and -2, then you can find out where exactly this 0.42 will lie. Minus 0.42 comes at this point. We also found that you can just see that the value of k, you know that the value of k is 6. So when the value of k is 6, you can go back and see. So so all of you plot this s is equal to 0.42, that breakaway point. When the value of k is 6, you can find that what is this value it's going to be. So you will get J 1.41. See, you can see here you have s cube plus 3s square plus 2s plus k, and you can just put the value of k as 6. You can find out so you'll get two values, uh, j 1.41 as well as plus or minus j. So it will be you will be having j 1 point minus j 1.41 also. So put those 2 points as well. So put those values there, and with free hands you need to draw this line connecting this point, breakaway point, like this. You need to connect these things and draw it. Free hands you draw, and this should go parallel to the asymptote, so you need to draw this properly. So this is what the plot you will obtain. You complete the plot. See, as I have told you, this is what the equation you got: s cube plus 3s square plus 2s plus k, and from this you have already found that what is the value of omega. Omega you got it as plus or minus root 2, and this value you got it as k is equal to 6. So from what does that indicate is, at the value of, listen here carefully, at the value of k is equal to 6, you find that omega is plus or minus root 2. Root 2 means 1.4. So plus 1.4 and minus 1.4. So this has to be plotted in the j omega axis. So when you plot it, you can see that at k is equal to 6, you get j 1.4, and here you get it as minus j 1.4. So these 2 points you got it. So this has been derived from that equation. Okay. So once again I'll repeat it, how you got those points you understood. So omega you got it as plus or minus root 2. So you get it as at the value of k is equal to 6. So when the value of k is 6, you will get it as omega is equal to plus or minus root 2. So what is plus or minus root 2? Plus or minus 1.41. So that 1.41 has to be represented in the j omega axis. So it will be j plus 1.41, that is j 1.41 at k is equal to 6, as well as minus j 1.41 at k is equal to 6. So you get these 2 points. Once you get these 2 points and you get the breakaway point, so your arrow marks should be into it, towards the breakaway points, and you can see that you have to draw this with a free hand, which should go parallel to the asymptote. So this, you can see that this is your asymptote. It will not touch the asymptotes, means you should not touch the asymptotes, but it should go parallel to the asymptote, and this root locus will touch the asymptote at the infinity. So we will make sure that this root locus will touch the asymptote at the infinity. So now when you are plotting it, you plot parallel to the asymptote. So this is what the curve it will come. You need to touch these points, free hands you plot it, you'll get the graph in this form. So this is what we call it as the root locus plot, and here one more condition you have told, that the system will be stable only when it is less 0 less than k less than 6. So between 0 and 6, when the value of k lies, then only the system will be stable. So this is what the plot you will get. So all of you have completed the plot. So all of you understood this value. This is the value you got it there as root 2. So plus j 1.41 and minus j 1.41. All of you have completed this plot.
Yes, sir.
It's clear for everyone. See, the first problem is clear for all of you. See, are you still plotting it, or you have completed?
Completed, sir.
So we will move ahead with the next problem. All of you have understood? Anyone is having any doubts here? Is that clear for all of you? The first problem. So if you have any doubts, we will discuss it again. Is that clear for everyone? I want to know that.
Clear, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let me just proceed with the next problem. So you try to do this problem, a new one, that is sketch the root locus plot for a closed loop system having an open loop transfer function. So we are given with g of s h of s is equal to k into s plus 2 divided by s plus 1. For all values of k from 0 to infinity, comment on the stability of the system. So you should say that whether the system is stable, unstable, marginally stable, what state it is. Also show that a part of the root locus is a circle. So you note down this problem and try to write the steps whatever we have done for the previous one similar to that. First you need to find the zeros and poles and zeros. So find out that you need to find the poles and zeros now.
Sir, we can't hear you, sir.
Yeah, correct. So all of you have completed this problem, no? Previous problem. Now you can just note down this problem. G of s h of s is equal to k into s plus 2 divided by s into s plus 1. So just write down. You have to find out the stability of the system, and you also have to show that the root locus is a circle. So first thing is that what you have to do, you have to make sure that the poles and zeros has to be found. So you know that you have the function there g of s h of s is equal to k into s plus 2 divided by s into s plus 1. So you can find out the poles and zeros. So step 1 you can write down plot the poles and zeros of g of s h of s in the s plane. So all of you find out the poles and zeros, very simple. You can equate s is equal to s plus 2 is equal to 0, you can find out, and s is equal to 0 and s plus 1 is equal to 0, you can find out. So you get the poles and zeros. So how many poles, how many zeros are there here?
Two poles and one zero, sir.
Yeah. So at k is equal to, so k is equal to 0, the points are s is equal to 0 and s is equal to minus 1, and k is equal to infinity, the points are s is equal to minus 2 and infinity. So you can say that you have two poles and one zero. So you can write down this step 1, step 2 and step 3. So a branch of the root locus always starts on a pole that is k is equal to 0 and ends on a 0. So you have to write all the steps. So you can complete it one by one. All of you have completed till step 3. All of you have completed step 3. Okay, you can do that. I'll just wait for a minute. So I think all of you might have completed 1, 2, and 3 step. Is that over?
Yes, sir. Over.
So let us proceed further with the problem. So hence one of the poles must be terminated on the zero. So you can get the poles and zeros. You can you have to plot it separately. Okay. So that's why you can see here one of the poles must be terminated on the 0 at s is equal to -2, and then the other pole has to be terminated on 0 at s is equal to infinity. You have to find out the asymptotes and all those things. So let us see that the number of branches, how many branches has to be there here? Two poles, 2, 1, 0 is there. How many branches has to be there? Whichever is greater.
Two, sir.
2 has to be there. So the number of branches of the root locus, pole or 0, whichever is greater. So here we have 2 is greater than 1. So we can say that the number of branches has to be 2. Now after completing the step 4, you can move on to the step 5. A point on the real axis will lie on the root locus if the number of singularities of the to the right of this point are odd. So we have also seen those points, odd number of points and even number. So when the point on the real axis will lie on the root locus if the number of singularities on the right of this point are odd. Okay. So you can see that I'm going to just plot those poles and zeros, and I need to find out next the asymptotes and mark those points, everything. So we'll do step by step. So you can make a note of all these things. So you have to go writing all the steps in this one after the other. So you need to find out the number of poles, number of zeros. Then you need to find out the number of branches, whichever is greater, and poles or zeros, whichever is greater. And you need to find the real axis which lies on the root locus, and how many points, how many poles or zeros are available at the whether it is odd or even, all those things you have to see. Based on that you can draw the branches and all those things. So first you can start one by one, mark the poles and zeros, and then find out the asymptotes. So asymptote steps and all I will show you here. Need to carry out all the steps. So you can see here in this figure, I have plotted the poles at 0 and -1, and I have a 0 at -2. So these things I have plotted, k infinity, k is equal to 0. So now I have to find out the centroid, to find out where the asymptotes has to be placed. So my first thing is now to find out the centroid. So you need to plot, you need to make these plots proper. Don't, some students plot it very small by taking the scales very small. You plot it slightly bigger. Mark the points 0, -1, -2 and all properly, so that you will get a neat plot. Okay. So after completing step 5, now you have to find out the number of asymptotes. How many number of asymptotes are there here?
1, sir.
1. What is the centroid here? So you have one asymptotes. Now you find out the centroid, and you also find out the angle. So the number of asymptotes is given as pole minus 0, number of poles minus number of zeros. You know that the number of poles is 2 and number of 0 is 1. So the number of asymptotes here in this figure, it will be 1. So where this asymptotes will be placed, you need to find out the centroid. So the centroid of the asymptote you have to find out.
-3, sir.
-3. No. Centroid is summation of finite poles minus summation of finite zeros. So what is the finite poles? You have poles 0 and -1. Summation of that 0 minus 1. Summation of zeros is -2 is you have 1 0 here at -2. So you have to take minus. Summation means summation of 0 is -2. So when you substitute, you will get it in this form, -1 plus 2. So you'll get it as 1 by 1. So you'll get it as 1. Whether you are getting it as 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 1 will be drawn here. This is the point where you will get centroid, that is 1 here. Find out the angle. How many values of q you have to take? Here asymptote is only 1. So q you
0.
have to take it as
0.
0. So take q as 0, substitute in the equation and find out the angle. So the angle made by the asymptote with respect to the real axis. What is that angle you will get?
180 degrees, sir.
180 degree. So that is correct. So you get q is equal to 0 because only one asymptote is there. You have to find phi a, phi. So you will get 2q plus 1 into 180 degree divided by pole minus 0. Substitute the value of q. Pole minus 0 is 1. So you can get it as 180 degree. So that's what I have already shown you here. We have plotted the centroid, we have already plotted the asymptote. So 180 degree means it will lie on the sigma axis itself. So you can see that the asymptotes will be on the sigma axis itself. So all those things we have completed. So all of you have completed this asymptotes with the finding out the number of asymptotes, centroid, as well as the angle made by the asymptote. All these things are completed. All of you have completed till here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us proceed further. What is seventh step we have seen in the last problem also, that it has to be symmetrical with respect to the real axis. So we can just write the statement there, the root locus always symmetrical with respect to the real axis. Now we have to find a few things like we have to take the characteristic equation and try to solve it. All those things we have to do in step 8. So let us go with step 8. So I have taken the system characteristic equation is given by 1 plus g of s h of s is equal to 0. I have substituted g of s h of s here, that is 1 plus k into s plus 2 divided by s into s plus 1. So we have substituted that 1 plus k into g of s h of s is what? K into s plus 2 divided by s into s plus 1. Substitute g of s h of s, that is equal to 0. Simplify that. So when you simplify that, you end up in an equation. So do that simplification. You have to simplify that. So you get the value of k. K will be equal to minus s square plus s divided by s plus 2. All of you can do that. So you have completed with centroid, you have completed with asymptotes and all those things. You have also told that the root locus will be symmetrical with respect to the real axis. You have also seen that the system characteristic equation. So all of you can complete it. So now we have to find the breakaway point and break-in point. So I am going to take the differentiation of k. So dk by ds is equal to 0. So all of you can do that. Dk by ds is equal to 0. So when I have written the steps here clearly, when you do it, dk by ds is equal to 0, you will get it as minus of s plus 2 into s2s plus 1 minus s square plus 2 into 1 divided by s plus 2 whole square, that is equal to 0. So when you simplify by cancelling out the terms and all those things, you end up with this equation s square plus 4s plus 2 is equal to 0. So when you get it as s square plus 4s plus 2 is equal to 0, you need to find the roots. So the roots of s square plus 4s plus 2 is equal to 0 is s is equal to 0 0.586 and minus 3.414. So now we need to find out that which one is the breakaway point and which one is the break-in point. So all of you got the value of s as 0. Minus 0.586 and minus 3.414.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we will simplify that. So the root s is equal to minus 0.586 is the breakaway point. So I have told you the breakaway point and break-in point, and s is equal to minus 3.414 is the break-in point. So we have studied already about the breakaway point and break-in point. So when you see the figure, where is minus 0.5? So it will be lying here at this point. So somewhere here you will be getting the minus 0.5, and the other point, that is minus 3.414, that will be here. So when we understood the concept of breakaway point and break-in point, you know that how it will be classified, and we have seen all those things. So when you get the breakaway point and break-in point, so you can just substitute for S is equal to 0.586 in this calculation and find out the value of K. When you do that, you get it minus 0.172, and for the value of K in case of break-in point, you get it that S is equal to minus 3.414. You get the answer to be 5.86. So you can do the calculation and find out the value of K at breakaway point as well as the K at break-in point. So what you can say here is, since the root locus lie entirely to the left side of the S-plane, the feedback control system is a stable system. So what you can say here, the system is stable provided it is 0 less than or K less than infinity. So all of you find out the value of K at breakaway point and also find out the value of K at break-in point. So you get it as 0.172 as well as 5.83. So all of you have completed this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So continuation of that, the plot you have to do. So before this plot, you can try it out, that plot. Before that, I will just complete this, the steps, whatever it is required for that. You can try this plot. So to prove that the part of the root locus is a circle, now you need to say that the part of the root locus, it is there in the question. To prove that the part of the root locus is a circle, you need to put S is equal to sigma plus j omega in G of S, H of S, to show that it is a circle. So we have to substitute wherever S is there, you have to substitute as sigma plus j omega. So you end up with this thing. And then every root of the characteristic equation or every point on the root locus has to satisfy the angle condition. So this is another thing. So you have to, every root of the characteristic equation or the root locus has to satisfy the angle condition. So what is the angle condition? When you take the angle of G of S, H of S for sigma plus j omega, that should be equal to 180 degrees. So this is the angle condition. You can make that plot later on. You can just complete means you have to prove that the root locus is a circle. So for that you have to substitute S is equal to sigma plus j omega. And when you do that, you have to satisfy the angle condition G of S, H of S of sigma plus j omega should be equal to 180 degree. When you do this, you can write that minus tan inverse of omega by sigma minus tan inverse of omega by sigma plus 1 and minus tan inverse of omega by sigma plus 2 is equal to 180 degree. So there is a condition to specify that it is a circle. So we get we have to show that G of S, H of S is equal to 180 degree, and also you need to go with using this equation, that is what tan inverse of x plus or minus tan inverse of y is same as tan inverse of x plus or minus y by 1 minus plus xy. All these things you have studied in mathematics, where you have studied about the circle and all those things. So tan inverse of 180 is equal to 0. So what does that indicate? Sigma square. So this we will wind up for today, and you can just look into these things. We will get back. I will get back to you in the next class regarding this plot of circle and that plot, whatever it is there. So we'll be ending up with sigma square 4 sigma plus 2 plus omega square. So we get this in the form of a circle. So the above equation represents that the centroid is minus 2 0 and the radius is root 2. So from this you can say that the root locus will be in the form of a circle. That's what we have to draw it after finding out the breakaway point and break-in point, all those things. So you have to plot the zeros, all this plot you have to make it. So we'll discuss this part in the next class. All of you can try doing it, complete it, and we will discuss as well in the next class. Okay. So that's all. You can make a note of all these things and try it out how this has to be carried out, how this can be done. So that's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So